Hey TBC Kindle, I'm Brother Tyler, and we're here again today with another Kindle Daily Devotional. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about making our requests unto the Lord, and I'm going to read from Genesis 25 and verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. So here we have this dire situation in the hands of Isaac and Rebekah. If you remember, Isaac is the one that God promised to continue the promise of Israel, to continue the promise of a great nation out of Abraham. He said, I'm going to continue this through Isaac, but the problem is that Isaac and Rebekah are unable to have children. And it's really interesting that this happens again, because this is exactly the problem that happened with Abraham and Sarah. Sarah wasn't able to have kids either. And here we see that same kind of thing happening again with Isaac and Rebekah. But what's so awesome is that Isaac went to God and he said, Lord, I need your help. It says that he entreated the Lord. That means that he went to God and said, Lord, I've got this problem, I've got this situation in my life that I can't take care of, that I can't control, and I need you to intervene. And that's exactly what we have the ability to do today. Jesus said in Matthew 7, ask and it shall be given to you, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that if you ask God to do something, he's just going to do it because he's obligated, because you're a child of God. That's not necessarily what Jesus is saying, because we also have to understand what James said in his epistle to the church, that we have to ask in alignment with the will of God. So when Jesus says, ask and it shall be given unto you, we have to keep that lens in mind to remember, okay, if I ask God to make me richer than Bill Gates, and it's not the will of God for me to be richer than Bill Gates, then there's a pretty good chance that I'm not going to be richer than Bill Gates, at least not anytime soon. That's just not going to happen, because that's not the will of God. God's not just going to give something to you just because you ask it. You have to ask in alignment with his will. And once you begin to submit yourself to his authority and to his power over your life, then your heart's desires begin to match his desires, and your will and his will begin to align. Our will begins to submit to his and say, Lord, my heart's desire is your will for my life. And that's when we begin to make our requests unto the Lord, and God begins to do mighty things in our lives. So I want to leave you with this encouragement today, and remind you that we as children of God have the opportunity to take our petitions, our requests, our needs to the Lord, and he will supply all of our needs through his riches and glory. So I want to leave you with that encouragement and a little bit of a challenge today. Make sure you're submitted to the will of God when you ask about certain things. You know, obviously God's not a genie. He's not just going to give you anything you ask for. But I can assure you that if you're living in the will of God as best as you can, and something's coming up in your life and you don't know exactly what's going to happen, if you put your trust in the Lord, he's going to make a way when there seems to be absolutely no way. And he's going to cause something to happen that no one else could cause to happen. So I hope I left you with some encouragement today. I hope I blessed you. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. God bless.